Hello there, and welcome to Mainstream Cryptos, where each week we take a look at the top 15 hottest pieces of news from crypto. My name is Abby, and I'm super glad that you're joining us today, whether this is your first time on the channel or you've been following these episodes for a while. We have some fiery updates to take a look at today. But before we get into that, I just want to give you a quick heads up about something. If you make it to the end of this video and you find it helpful, enjoyable, useful, any of those nice things, please consider liking it. Really easy, and it helps us to know that we're producing content that benefits you. Also, if you'd like to receive more content like this, such as these weekly news updates and tons of other information, tips, and resources on investing, you can subscribe to Mainstream Cryptos and you'll get those reminders every week. But for now, let's get stuck in to our news. Starting at number 1. The crypto community is in awe as Bittrex US exchange winds down. This was a sad day. The Seattle-based crypto exchange Bittrex has announced it is winding down its US operations. The crypto community was taken aback by the news and saddened by the latest development. Here you can see the tweet from Bittrex. Due to continued regulatory uncertainty, they say, we have made the difficult decision to wind down our US operations effective April 30th, 2023. All funds are safe and can be fully withdrawn immediately. This does not affect customers of Bittrex Global. This will be affecting many US users as they're forced to withdraw their funds, but the impact is probably more one of shock than of any economic concern. And on to our second piece of news. This is certainly an interesting one. Is Burger King interested in Doge? A new tweet excites the Dogecoin community. Burger King UK once again made mention of Doge in its recent tweet, much to the delight of the Dogecoin community. The fast food global chain tweeted, trying to convince my manager to let me have an office Doge. One user asked when Burger King would start accepting Doge for its meals, in response to the tweet that many people perceive as showing interest in Dogecoin. Other users posted memes related to Dogecoin in the Twitter comments. But is Burger King interested in Dogecoin? Burger King Brazil announced Dogecoin payments in 2021. The restaurant also aired an ad to advertise the product throughout the nation, further bringing Dogecoin into the limelight. And in November of that year, Burger King and Robinhood teamed up for a crypto giveaway of 20 Bitcoins, 200 Ether, 2 million Dogecoins to US customers. So, it's possible. We'll have to see. Piece of news number 3. The state of Bitcoin as it approaches $30,000, according to Santiment. Bitcoin is on the brink of re-emerging above $30,000 for the first time since June last year. As excitement abounds, how are indicators looking for the asset both on and off-chain? Crypto market intelligence platform Santiment recently analyzed some observable impacts and triggers of Bitcoin's latest price moves, noting rising social volume and dominance compared to other cryptos. Per a blog post from Santiment on Thursday, Bitcoin's social volume and social dominance have now reached their highest levels in an entire year. Social dominance refers to the share of discussions in crypto media referring to Bitcoin. Meanwhile, social volume measures the number of text documents mentioning the assets, including Telegram messages and Reddit posts, among other things. Both metrics appeared to rise precisely as Bitcoin skyrocketed back above 25,000 earlier this month, when the Federal Reserve agreed to bail out all depositors to Silicon Valley Bank. Market excitement is also back on the rise, with crypto's fear and greed index reaching a greed score of 63 as of Friday. Santiment cautioned against overexcitement, however, noting that such fervor usually indicates a local top. It also called attention to Bitcoin's trading volume, which, while strong during its recent run-up to 27,000, has now drawn back down in a divergence from its price. Now we are observing a divergence in price and volume, which usually isn't a good thing, as it is signaling that there's exhaustion in the price action. That's what Santiment wrote. The firm also found that there have been spikes in movement among dormant coins, Bitcoin transaction outputs that haven't moved in the last 5 years, since mid-March. Each spike was involved between 2,800 and 3,000 Bitcoin, which Santiment believes could show that a certain whale is jittery about recent price action. The firm's MVRV, long-short difference metric, shows that long-term holders are starting to show greater unrealized profits than short-term holders at current price levels. This reversal indicates a similar pattern to 2019. According to Santiment, if history is to repeat itself, then we might just see a sharp spike marking a local top and a dreadful bleed out like 2019. 1, 2, 3, 4. Continuing to look at Bitcoin, nearly 1 million blockchain addresses now hold over 1 Bitcoin. Bitcoin's long entrenchment under $24,000 provided ample opportunity for smaller holders to increase their position sizes, on-chain data shows. Nearly 1 million Bitcoin addresses now hold over 1 Bitcoin, much of which was accumulated between 2021 and 2023. The rise of Bitcoin shrimps. The figures rose especially quickly after the collapse of crypto exchange giant FDX in November, from 915,110 on November the 8th to 961,756 on December the 8th. The event pushed Bitcoin's price back down to $15,500 for the first time since 2020, likely giving dedicated holders a better chance to stack sats. For your knowledge, if you're not sure, SAT is the smallest value token of a Bitcoin. And there, for you visual learners, you can see the stats laid out before you in that beautiful graph. Piece of news number 5. And we are still talking about Bitcoin, looking at how, although it seems to be increasing in popularity, there are some signals that we would do well to pay attention to. This is one of them. More than 3,600 Bitcoin ATMs went offline to record largest monthly decline. Ouch. Contradicting the growing global Bitcoin adoption rate, physical ATMs dedicated to fiat crypto conversions are on the decline. In March alone, 3,627 crypto ATMs were removed from the network, bringing down the total ATMs to 33,727. Look at that dip over there. Quite drastic, actually. Number 6. On a somewhat brighter note, crypto takes the fast lane. Formula One racing car puts Bitcoin white paper on full display. On March 28th, British Formula One team Williams Racing, founded in 1977, and crypto exchange Kraken, established in 2011, announced a groundbreaking partnership. The leading crypto platform became the Formula One team's first ever official crypto and Web3 partner. The collaboration aims to offer fans innovative crypto and Web3 experiences while expanding Kraken's reach to new institutional clients and businesses through the Williams Racing network. The recently announced partnership has already gained attention for featuring an excerpt from the Bitcoin white paper on the Williams Racing team car. The Kraken logo, designed to resemble the legendary sea monster, incorporates text from the 2008 document authored by Satoshi Nakamoto. The logo encompasses the abstract, introduction, transactions, and timestamp server sections of Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. Kraken Exchange. Who said Bitcoin isn't fast? And now we are moving just as quickly as Kraken can onto number 7. What is happening in Singapore? ZipX's restructuring plan has been green-lighted by the Singapore High Court. Singapore's lower division of the Supreme Court approved ZipX's pre-packaged plan to restructure some of its operations and thus enable customers to receive portions of their deposits. The Thai-based crypto exchange suspended clients' withdrawals in July last year, citing volatile market conditions. It could not cope with the issues and filed for bankruptcy protection shortly after. ZipX announced in a recent blog post that the Singapore High Court allowed the creation of an administrative convenience class for creditors who have funds worth less than $5,000. The magistrates also approved the exchange's request for a 3-week extension of creditor protection. News item number 8. Sales for Polygonpowered Trump nifts skyrockets as news of indictment fuels demand. Following the news of former President Donald Trump's indictment by a Manhattan grand jury, neft sales of his neft collection, Trump digital trading cards have experienced an impressive surge of over 470% in the last 24 hours. On the 30th of March, CNN reported that Trump was indicted by Manhattan grand jury on more than 30 counts related to business fraud, and that he is expected to appear in court on Tuesday. Moving on to number 9. Cardano's stunning developer adoption. 1,221 projects are currently building on the platform. Wow, they really get the ball rolling. InputOutput Global, responsible for Cardano's research and development, has released its Cardano Weekly Development Report for the week ending March 31st. The report highlights the progress made across different aspects of the Cardano ecosystem, demonstrating a strong commitment to improving the blockchain's functionality and performance. These include core technology enhancements focused on networking, consensus, and node improvements, wallets and services updates. IOG's Lace desktop development resolved issues related to decentralized exchanges interacting with the dApp browser and enhanced the dark mode UI. Smart contracts developments, Basho scaling progress, governance updates, and Cardano network statistics. Get ready for number 10. Let's hear what the Cardano Foundation CEO has to say on a very productive trip to London and meetings with British MPs. Cardano Foundation CEO Frederick Gregard recently travelled to London, where he engaged with influential policymakers and stakeholders invested in the UK's blockchain future. The Cardano Foundation is an independent non-profit organisation dedicated to supporting and promoting the Cardano blockchain ecosystem. Its primary goals are to drive the adoption of the platform, shape legislation and commercial standards for the blockchain and cryptocurrency industry, foster partnerships with businesses and governments, and ensure the development and growth of the Cardano community. Gregard described the atmosphere surrounding the technology in the UK as an exciting time for blockchain. During his visit, he spoke to 2 cross-party committees focusing on central bank digital currencies and digital identity. He also met with several members of Parliament, including Marcus Fish MP, Dr. Lisa Cameron MP, Sir Stephen Timms, and Ian McCall. They discussed the future of regulation and the potential of blockchain and crypto assets in the UK. All parties involved agreed on the technology's potential to drive positive change and reduce inequalities. However, in order for the UK to become a global blockchain hub, Gregard believes British regulators and policymakers must be ambitious and focus on future-proofing features like interoperability. He noted that everyone he spoke to shared excitement about the UK's blockchain future, and Gregard is eager to see how the Cardano Foundation can contribute to this growth and development. Excitement! Moving on to number 11. Cardano founder says to InputOutput critic, "Glad to be putting in the midnight oil." The blockchain community can sometimes be harsh, especially for developers, as community members are often impatient to see results. At times as well, this dissatisfaction is warranted. In recent weeks, DC Spark, an independent development team focused on Cardano, Algorand, and Mina, has ramped up development efforts on the Cardano blockchain. As reported during the week, the team revealed plans to introduce account abstraction into the blockchain. In addition, yesterday, the team revealed a new product to enable developers to build a Cardano wallet quickly called Wallet OneBox. And here's the tweet from DC Spark. "Creating a Cardano wallet is a lot of work. But what if it didn't have to be? While the efforts are worth celebrating and have attracted commendation from InputOutput chief and Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson, they have also led to unintended outcomes. Some community members have now drawn comparisons between IO and DC Sparks, with one such comment eliciting a response from Hoskinson. "I predict in 7 or more years, the development of the main protocol will be done by the innovative companies like DC Spark," said Sushi Master, "and IOG will be stigmatized as a failed entity, together with Charles Hoskinson." What was the response? "Glad to be putting in the midnight oil," Hoskinson said in response, simultaneously highlighting and dismissing the comments. Number 12. And boom! XRP Ledger Smart Contract Layer 2 protocol is set to launch, announces the testnet migration. The launch date for Evernode a proposed XRP Ledger Layer 2 smart contract protocol is drawing nearer, according to an announcement from the official Twitter handle today. There you can see it. Announcement getting ready for launch. We're moving to the latest hooks testnet to get ready for launch. Hosts should check out the GitHub announcement for more details and begin preparing for the switch. News report number 13. Here are insiders who will know Ripple versus SEC final ruling before anyone else. Anticipation for an outcome in the Ripple and SEC lawsuit has reached a fever pitch. Some XRP community members had relied on the prediction by pro-XRP lawyer James K. Phelan, who predicted that Judge Annalisa Torres's ruling would come before the end of March. However, his prediction did not pass as XRP holders watched in bewilderment, with many XRP supporters asking why Judge Torres didn't rule yesterday as predicted. Crypto law founder attorney John Deaton named the only insiders who may know about the exact date of the ruling. According to Deaton, Judge Torres' staff and the court's clerk are the only ones who would know about the Ripple and SEC ruling date. Moving on to our second last piece of news, number 14. Frozen FDX and Alameda assets worth $157 million are to be returned by Ox. After a recent petition filed in the FTX bankruptcy proceedings, leading cryptocurrency exchange Ox detailed intentions to restore frozen digital assets related to Sam Bankman-Fried's crypto firms, FDX and Alameda Research. The Seychelles-based exchange said that it has launched an inquiry into FTX to ascertain whether or not the company had traded on Ox. The defunct exchange ceased operations in November of last year. Ox froze the $157 million in accounts it discovered were linked to FDX and Alameda over the course of its investigation. In response to the latest petition for the restoration of the cash, Ox has disclosed its intent to unfreeze the assets and transfer them to the bankruptcy estate, in order to facilitate the company's restructuring strategy. The exchange said, Ox welcomes the motion and will continue to cooperate with the FTX debtors and law enforcement officials in the hope that these assets will eventually be returned to FTX users through bankruptcy. Rightio, our last piece of news for this week, number 15. In one sense, I've saved the best for last, or the worst, depending on how you look at it. In any case, it is definitely the most controversial. Coinbase CEO backs ChatGPT development despite heavy criticism. The CEO of the biggest cryptocurrency exchange in the US, Coinbase, has spoken out against calls to temporarily halt ChatGPT's enhancements, despite support from several high-profile figures in the IT sector. Brian Armstrong recently tweeted, "Count me among people who think this is a bad idea. There are no experts to adjudicate this issue, and many disparate actors will never agree. Committees and bureaucracy won't solve anything. As with many technologies, there are dangers, but we should keep marching forward with progress because the good outweighs the bad. The marketplace of ideas leads to better outcomes than central planning. Don't ever let fear stop progress, and be wary of anyone trying to capture control in some central authority." Armstrong's remarks followed the release of an open letter that demanded a 6-month ban on building AI stronger than GPT-4, the most recent version of ChatGPT, an AI chatbot produced by OpenAI. AI systems with human competitive intelligence can pose profound risks to society and humanity, the letter reads. It has been signed by more than 1,700 people, including the Twitter CEO Elon Musk, Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak, and American entrepreneur and politician Andrew Yang. I personally disagree with Armstrong, especially when he says, "Don't ever let fear stop progress." I think what he's trying to say has some value. We shouldn't let fear overcome the benefits that progress can bring us. But progress, if you think about it, doesn't necessarily have objective value. One first needs to determine whether the progress will actually be constructive and beneficial. And that is where many highly respected people have an issue with highly advanced AI, such as that which OpenAI is producing. What is your take on that? The comments are open to you. And that, ladies and gentlemen, brings us to the end of the news session for this week. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and to be back next week. And finally, make good use of the knowledge that you have gained today. See you soon and have a good one.